Hello guys, waiting for your response. Just give me a quick check if I am audible and visible. Come on. Today we will be starting a discussion on elasticity of supply and demand. If anyone has any doubt from the previous class that we did discussion on supply and we did a discussion on demand. Also we determined about the equilibrium price, right? So if anyone having any doubt in those classes, quickly go ahead and then we will start with the elasticity of supply and demand. Quickly, any doubt till now? This is basically your chapter supply and demand 2 in your CMP, okay? So don't get confused. The major topic in that chapter is basically elasticity of supply and demand only. So seeing no doubt in the chat box, let's move forward with our discussion then, okay? Elasticity. When I hear the word elasticity, a single word that should click your mind is responsiveness. What happens, have you ever seen an elastic? What happens? When you stretch the elastic, it stretches, right? When you apply more force, more strength, it stretches to a longer distance. Similarly, it means my elastic is responding to my force or my strength. Similarly, here I am talking about supply and demand. If I say a word price elasticity of demand. So whose elasticity am I checking? I am checking the elasticity of my demand. With respect to what variable? My price. It means the amount of change in my demand because of the amount of change in my price is called elasticity. Basically price elasticity of demand, okay? In the last class we discussed when we were talking about law of demand. What was law of demand? Quickly give me in the chat box what was law of demand definition. Come on. Come on. What was the definition of law of demand? I am waiting. I have received answers. Waiting for more students to give me the answer. Quickly guys, those who are giving me answer are already at advantage. If you are attending a live class, then please make sure whatever question I am asking, you answer me back, okay? Because again at the end of the exam, you have to write the answer only. So for example, question is asking what is law of demand, just simply state me a definition. Very good. Law of demand, I have got answer from one more person. So law of demand basically says the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded ceteris paribus, that is everything else remaining constant. So it means if I increase my price, then my quantity demanded decreases, right? And if I decrease my price, my quantity demanded increases. But law of demand was talking only about the relationship. But you would be interested in numerical, some numbers, right? If you are doing a business, you would want to know na, with the change, if my price is changing 1 unit, then what will be my respective change in my quantity? Then only I would be able to make the decision. Otherwise, from some general relationship, I can't be able to make a decision. That's why elasticity basically tells about the magnitude, okay? So we will be getting a numerical answer here, okay? Elasticity, it talks about magnitude. It quantifies the law of demand. If I am talking about demand, price elasticity of demand, it quantifies the law of demand. If I would be talking about price elasticity of supply, then it quantifies my law of supply. Quantifying means rather than the quality, rather than the relationship, it will also be talking about the numbers with how much change. Clear? definition of price elasticity of demand. It is the responsiveness of quantity demanded. It is the responsiveness of quantity demanded with respect to change in the price. Change in the price. If you want to write this as well, it means how much my quantity changes with respect to this much change in the price. Okay. So, I can say how much my quantity changes with respect to change in price. I hope there is no doubt in this price elasticity of demand. So, if I say this is my original price and my price has increased, okay. Firstly, I was talking about this much quantity. Now, due to this much increase in my price, my quantity has reduced significantly. You can see there is a very minimal change in my price, but my quantity demanded decreased by a very huge amount, right. So, if I plot my D points demand curve, so this is called my elastic demand. You can see with a very small change in price, my quantity is reduced too much. So, the impact of change in price is more. So, in that case my demand is called elastic. Clear? So, elastic demand, right, when even with small change. Now, your change can be increase in price as well, decrease in price as well. Okay, it can be bidirectional, not unidirectional. So, even with small change in price, quantity demanded changes with greater impact. Noted? Shall we see now how an inelastic demand curve looks like? Quickly give me a yes if this is done. Quickly give me a yes if this is done. Okay. Rest of the students. Okay. So, now if I talk about inelastic demand. So, definition of inelastic demand would be the opposite definition of here. It means even with a huge change in price, I am getting a minimal change in my quantity demanded. Okay. We will be talking about examples, do not worry. So, inelastic demand would be even with huge change in price, I am not writing increase or decrease in price, because as I said, the change in price can be bidirectional. It can be either in increasing direction, it can be either in decreasing direction. Even with huge change in price, quantity demanded does not change much. So, it means if I draw my diagram, what it will be? With price this, previously I increased my price, let us decrease the price. So, I have decreased my price so much, but my quantity is increasing just a little. Can you see? So, if I plot my demand curve, so it will be something like this. Note this down. If you want me to repeat something, tell me, otherwise we will move forward. Okay, elastic demand, let me repeat. Look, elastic demand means my price, even if I am having a minute change in my price, my quantity demanded changes with a lot of margin. Okay. For example, if I say, let me talk about bread. Okay, bread is something which has a lot of substitute. Okay, if my prices of bread increases, I would reduce the consumption of bread, right? It is not such a necessity. I can move to chapatis or parathas, right? So if even if I increase 1 unit of rupees, 1 unit of amount price of the bread, what will happen? Most of the consumers would shift to its alternatives which are relatively cheaper, right? So in this case, even if I have reduced 1 rupees only, the quantity will be increased, even if I have increased bread price with 1 rupees only, the quantity would be decreased by a huge margin. So I have written the same thing, even with small change in price, quantity demanded change with greater impact. You can see prices is changing just this much amount, but look at the change in quantity demanded, it reduced by a greater margin. You can see this area is small, area is greater, so it means this is elastic demand. Similarly, in the inelastic demand, you can see this area is too much small and this area is greater, it means this is inelastic demand. Clear now? Okay. Now so if I look at the diagrams, so if I get for example an MCQ question in the exam and I have given a diagram and it asks you to interpret the elasticity of the graph with a diagram only. Okay. So one graph is given out to be this and second graph is given out to be this. So can you tell which graph has elastic demand, which graph has inelastic demand? Quickly write in a chat box which graph has elastic demand, which graph has inelastic demand. Just looking at these, I have not been given the amounts. Come on, tell me. Okay, received the answer. Anyone else who wanna give me the answer? Yes. First one is elastic, second one is inelastic. Okay, those who gave me the answer, very well done. You can see, you can judge from two things. First is the area. This area, the change in quantity demanded is much. When my quantity demanded changes with a higher margin, it is elastic demand. Okay, here the quantity change in quantity demanded is not that much, that's why it is inelastic demand. Second thing, if I would not have been given these areas, one graph is like this and another graph is like this. This graph is more flat, right? This graph is more steep. So you can say flatter the graph, elastic the demand. Steeper the graph, inelastic the demand. Okay? So write this thing. Flatter the graph, elastic the demand, steeper the graph, inelastic the demand. Noted? You can see this diagram, you can check it. Look, this is more steep, falling with a greater slope, right? This is more flat. Similarly, if I talk about previous option, so this is more steep, this is more flat. Clear? Note it down. Now moving forward, what can also happen is my graph can be equal, right? There could be a case now where if I am increasing my price, for example, by 1 unit, then my quantity demanded is also increasing by 1 unit or 1%. Okay, it means with the change in where the change in price is equal to change in quantity demanded, it is called my unit elasticity. Okay, so write when percentage change in price is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded, it is called my unit elasticity. It is called my unit elasticity. It means if I am having this P and Q, for example, it increased by this much amount, quantity also decreased by same percentage amount. So you can see you have almost equal areas now. So this is called my unit elasticity. Unit means 1, it means my elasticity of demand would be equal to 1. And this type of graph is called rectangular hyperbola. These keywords are important because we have an MCQ based paper as well. We have certain section as MCQ as well. So we need to be prepared for these MCQs, okay. So this is called rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola is some curve where area under the curve is equal. So you can see the area of this rectangle and area of this rectangle are equal. They may not seem equal here, but if you plot them and if you calculate the areas, it will be equal only. Clear? Note down this unit elasticity, then we will discuss 2 more extreme cases. Once it's done, give me a yes. Okay. Anyone want to ask anything? Okay, no. Let's move forward. These were 3 cases that are common to be found. Okay, 3 cases I discussed. Just recap. I talked about elastic demand. Then I talked about unit elastic demand, unit elasticity. Then I talked about inelastic demand. Now, I can have 2 more extreme cases, but these are very rare to be found in the real market scenario. Okay, that is why I am saying these are extreme cases, rare to find in real market. Why are these extreme cases? First case is perfect elasticity. And second case is zero elasticity. Yes. So look, perfect elasticity means if I am not changing my price, my quantity demanded is changing. Okay, even if the change in price is 0, my quantity demanded is being changed indefinitely. You can see the change is happening, right? So even if my price is not changing, price is being constant, so you can write change in QD even if change in price is 0. Okay, so this is called perfect elasticity. Clear? if I talk about zero elasticity, as the name suggests, my elasticity here would be 0 only. It means my quantity demanded won't change. It means quantity demanded will change. Basically it means if I am even if I am changing price with however amount, right, even if I am changing price with however amount, my quantity demanded is not changing. So here I can write slightest change in price, rather than writing no change in price, write here slightest change in price. In the perfect elasticity, slightest change in price can lead to zero demand. Okay, it means you can see my price is constant and still my quantity demand is so much fluctuating, right. If I change my price with the slightest amount, my quantity demanded could be zero. Okay, so usually this is not the case that we see in the real market. That's why it is extreme case. Okay, another case is I am changing the price by however amount, but still my quantity demanded is same, constant. Okay, so even if change in price, no change in demand. So this is called zero elasticity. This is called infinite elasticity, or I say perfect elasticity. Note this down. Then we will talk about the magnitude of our elasticities. Anyone having any doubt? Quickly give me that in a doubt chat. Very interesting chapter it is, okay, and basic as well. Come on, give me a yes guys. Okay, one have done. More seconds. So shall we move forward? Now talking about the value of elasticity. So I have till now understood 5 cases of elasticity. First one can be when my elasticity can be 0, which is zero elasticity. Okay. Then I move forward in elastic demand. Then I move forward to unit elasticity. Then I have elastic demand. And then I have perfect elasticity. So in my zero elasticity, obviously this is called ED, elasticity of demand, and if I write PED, this becomes price elasticity of demand. Okay, so I am here writing ED. Here ED is 0. In inelastic demand, it will be less than 1. That basically greater than 0 but less than 1. That is 0 0.5, 0 0.6, 0 0.7. Okay. Unit elasticity is equal to 1 as we discussed. Elastic demand would be greater than 0. You will be able to justify this formula once we are going to numericals of the elastic demand. Okay. And this is, as we talked about, perfect elasticities means infinite change in my quantity demanded, that is infinity. Okay, note this down. Now moving forward, there is one more thing called sign. So your doubt should be, can my elasticity be negative as well? Can my elasticity be negative as well? Okay, you tell me, can my elasticity be negative or not? Yes or no? Quickly in the chat box. Can my elasticity can be negative or not in case of demand? If yes, write yes. If no, write no. Okay. Okay. So, okay, one said yes, one said no. So, if I see what is the relationship between my price and demand? My price increases, my quantity demanded decreases, so it means it has inverse relationship. Now, if I, what was the formula? What was the definition? Change in demand with respect to change in price, right? So, if my, for example, quantity demand price changes from 3 rupees to 2 rupees, it means the change in price is negative 1, but my quantity demanded at 3 price, for example, it was 50 units. So, obviously, at a lower price I would be demanding more of the units. So, my quantity demanded would change, for example, 50 to 60. So, it is a positive 10 units. So, if you compare this, if you divide these things, you will get a negative elasticity, right? This is not a direct formula, but I am just telling you to assume, imagine the things that if you are dividing a positive change with a negative change, obviously you are getting a negative answer. So, yes, my elasticity can be negative, but that negative sign does not mean anything in numerical terms, it just justifies the relationship. Clear? This negative sign has nothing to do with, for example, if I say minus 1, minus 1.5, minus 1.5, for the magnitude I will always refer 1.5, okay. This minus sign basically shows my law of demand, no other significance than that. It does not mean this is less than 1. I will always take the modulus of my elasticity to compare the magnitude, okay. Is this clear? So, you can write the sign of elasticity is negative in case of price elasticity of demand, but it does not create change in my magnitude, but it does not create change in my magnitude. The negative sign justify the law of demand. The negative sign justify the law of demand. Clear? Everyone noted? Giving you 20 seconds, grasp everything up, then we will come to a numerical question, okay. Basically, how to calculate the elasticity, we will talk about the formulas, and once we do a question, then we will move forward the determinants of elasticity. Definition is, yes, the price elasticity of demand can be negative. Yes, the price elasticity of demand can be negative, but it does not create any change in magnitude. The negative sign justify the law of demand. Okay, take your 20 seconds and then we will move forward to how to calculate price elasticity of demand. If this price elasticity of demand is clear, then you will be able to, derive any elasticity. Supplies elasticity, cross elasticity, income elasticity, you will be able to derive these very easily. That is why I am focusing on the price elasticity. Come on quickly. Once it's done, give me a yes. I'm waiting. Okay, done till now? Now note down the heading if you are writing measuring the price elasticity of demand. So basic formula of any elasticity is basically, if I am talking about price elasticity specifically, so it is proportionate change in quantity demanded divided by proportionate change in price. Okay, this is the formula. Proportionate change in quantity demanded is divided by proportionate change in price. Now this proportionate change I can either calculate in percentage terms or I can calculate in numerical terms. Okay, so there are 2 to 3 formulas defined just for the sake of formulas, but every time you will get the same answer. Okay, because you can simply convert in normal values to percentage values to normal values. So eventually you will be doing the same thing in all the formulas. Clear? So one is called percentage formula, one is called arc formula, or I say basically average, and one is called point. This is also called arc. Clear? Now if I say percentage, it means percentage change in price, sorry, quantity demanded, because we are checking the change in what? Quantity demanded. Now with respect to what? So with respect to thing comes to denominator, and the change in which I am measuring, it comes to numerator. Percentage change in price. How to calculate the percentage change? The difference, right? So difference by actual into 100. This triangle sign shows the difference. Okay. Similarly, the difference in price divided by price into 100. This is called percentage increase formula. Percentage change formula is defined by this only. Okay. This is simple mathematics. Clear? So change, I would say hundreds to 100 cancels out. If you want to cancel it out, then it's okay. What is delta Q? It means my new quantity minus my old quantity. My new price minus my old price. This is also only called a change. Now, for example, I am saying previously it was 3 rupees per unit. Now it is 4 rupees per unit. So my change is 1 rupees. How did I calculate 4 minus 3? Right? New price minus old price. Simple. So my formula comes out to be Q1 minus Q upon Q into P upon P1 minus P. Is this okay? Or you can write this into this. Any doubt, anyone? Tell me if there is any doubt. Waiting for a green signal, guys. Any doubt? Okay. Anyone else? Do you want me to repeat something? Okay. It is clear to everyone. Then moving forward to our arc elasticity. So arc elasticity, or I say average elasticity. Okay. So I will be taking the average, means for the proportionate change I will be dividing my change to the average. Okay. Rather than taking the this change at particular point, I will be taking the average of the units. So their formula becomes change in quantity divided by average Q, change in price divided by average P. Okay. So when I say average Q and average P, this basically becomes, let me do it downwards. So formula was change in quantity by average Q, change in price by average P. When I say change in quantity, to it becomes Q1 minus Q, that is new price minus original price. Average I can say Q1 plus Q2 by 2, right? Similarly, I write here P1 minus P, it becomes P1 plus P2, I can write it as Q2 and Q1 only. Okay. This is my new quantity, this is my original quantity, this is my new price, this is my original price. Clear? So if I just adjust it and change my numerators and denominator to look more presentable, what I get is Q2 minus Q1, Q1 plus Q2 by 2 into P1 plus P2 by 2 divided by P2 minus P1. So this is the formula for average method. This is called average method. Okay. If in the question you are specifically asked to calculate the elasticity through average method, then you have to use this formula. Okay. If you are being asked to calculate through percentage formula, you have to calculate using this. But if it is asked to calculate using any general formula, just it states that calculate the price elasticity, then you are free to use any formula. Clear? Note this down. Okay, guys. Clear? Now, if I come to point method, okay, if I come to point method, it basically has dq by dt. Remember the derivatives? Remember the derivatives in 11th, 12th? Rate of change in variable x, rate of change in my function due to my variable x was given by this, or I say rate of change in y due to rate of change in x is called by dy by dx derivative. Similarly, rate of change in quantity demanded because of rate of change in price is given by dqd by dp. Clear? Is it clear? How do we calculate it? We would be given an equation of qd in terms of my price. So I would just differentiate it with respect to my price, and it would be giving me some point value of price. For example, at rupees 5 you calculate. So I will be putting the I will be calculating my q dash t, and I would be putting the values of rupees 5 in spite of my p. We will be doing a question now. Just note down the formula. You have 30 seconds and then we will move forward to a question. Done? Give me a green signal, guys. Then only I will move with the formula. Come on. Okay. Now note down a formula. A question. Your QD is defined as a function. The function is given out to be 60 minus 15p plus p square. You have to calculate the price elasticity of demand at price of 3. Calculate. First differentiate it. So write differentiating QD with respect to price. So what I will get is dqd divided by dp okay. Try differentiating. Give me the differentiated equation. Yes, correct. So constant is 0 minus 15, p will give me 15 and this will give me 2p. So this is basically 2p minus 15. And at what value I need to calculate? At 3. So I want dq by dp calculated at p is equal to 3. So I just put in 3 here. So I get my elasticity as 6 minus 15 is minus 9. So this is my price elasticity. This is my actually quantity demanded, change in quantity demanded. Okay. Now this is my change, and what is the formula of elasticity? Basically proportionate change. So the change multiplied by the values. So my answer is minus 9 into price is 3, quantity is, what was my quantity? 24 units. If I calculate at price 3, calculate this as price 3, 60 minus 15 into 3 plus 3, 3 is 9, 60 minus 45 plus 9, this is giving me 24. So this as 24, because at this particular price, at this particular quantity, I am having this much change. That's why it is called point elasticity. So here I maybe missed the formula, missed something. Yes. So here the perfect formula is dq by dp into p by q. Okay. Basically, change in quantity with respect to change in price. Okay. Clear? So my price elasticity is coming out to be this. If I just multiply this will come out to be minus 9 by 8. If I just ignore this minus sign is basically because of law of demand. Look what I did, Fatma, is QD is given out to be this, okay. First I have been given my price is 3. So at price of 3, what is my quantity demanded? I just put in my 3 in here, right. So 60, this is coming out to be minus 45 plus 69, which is giving me 24. Clear? Now the formula states dq by dp into p by q, right. So first I have to calculate dq by dp. dq by dp can be achieved by differentiating this. Clear? So we just simply differentiate it. How do we differentiate? Simple basic differentiation concept if you will apply, this will become 0 because this is a constant, there would be no change. Here we will get minus 5, here we will get 2p. Okay, and I wanted to calculate this as price 3, so I just simply put in 3 here. So look, here I put in my 3, 6 minus 15, I get minus 5. This is I am getting change. Okay, so if I just simply multiply the things, dq by dp into p by q, I get minus 9 into 3 by 24 minus 9 by 8, which is around minus 1 point something. That is, if I take the mod of this, mod of my PED will be greater than 1, and if it is greater than 1, is it elastic or is it inelastic? Is it elastic or is it inelastic? Tell me. Tell me, is it elastic? Is it inelastic? For this minus 9 by 8, is my demand elastic to price? Is my demand inelastic to price? Elastic. Very good, because it is greater than 1. Okay, this minus sign is basically why? Because of law of demand. Okay. Clear, guys? Let's do one more question for your sake. Just a minute. This is the question you need to do. I am giving you 5 minutes. I want answers from your end. Okay? Come on. Quickly give me the answer. You have 5 minutes, try solving this and then we'll start discussing, okay? This would be the last question for the day. Just give me first part answer. If first part is done, then when you are able to do second part, then give me second part answer. Okay? So that I know ki you are trying at least. This is point elasticity. Okay? Come on guys. How many have you done, how many of you have done first part? Okay. Rest of you guys, we did a similar question in the previous, similar thing in the previous question, right? You just differentiate it, calculate it at 500. Okay, I have received answer. Let's try doing. So my QD was given out to be, let's do here itself. So my QD is given out to be 1,250,000. So firstly what I will do is, I will calculate my QD at price is equal to 500 because point elasticity I have to calculate at 500. Clear? So I just put in the value of 500. What is this coming out to be? If I take in my calculator, what is this coming out to be? $875,000. Okay, this is my quantity demanded at price 500. Now what I will do is, I will just differentiate it simply. So this will become 0 and this will give me minus 250 into 1, which is my differentiation is minus 250. Since it is not a function of P, that is why I do not need to put in any value of P, right. So what was my formula? dq by dP into P by Q. So simply I will do is, what is my dq by dP? It is minus 250, and what is my P and Q? What is my P and Q? I will just simply 500 and my Q is 875,000. So 0 0 cancels out, 0 0 cancels out, this 0 cancels out here, and now I am putting the values in the calculator. So it is coming out to be minus 1 by 7, which is basically minus 0.1429. Now tell me, is it elastic or inelastic? Is it elastic or inelastic? Is it elastic or inelastic? Yes, very good. It is inelastic because it is less than 1. If I take the magnitude, okay, basically mode, absolute value, yes. Now coming to second part, calculate the PD arc elasticity when price rises to 500 to 505 using both the original and the average methods. Original method is basically percentage method, and average method I have already told you guys. So we have to calculate QD is given out to be, first I have to 5 P 500 and my newer price is 505. So I can calculate my respective quantities. So my original quantity was 875000. My new quantity would be, I just put in 505 in here, right? So it will become 873750. So change in price, what is the magnitude of change in price? It is basically new price minus old price. So 505 minus 500, this is 5, and this is basically change in QD, which is new QD minus original QD. It is 875000 minus 873750. Sorry, new price is this. So this. So I am getting minus 1250. Okay. Now I need to calculate if I am going through percentage method, that is original method. So it was change in price upon original price into 100 divided by change in quantity divided by original quantity into 100, change in price divided by original price into 100. Put in the values. Here we have minus 1250, original was 875000 into 100. Here I have 5 upon 500 into 100. 100 cancels out. We have 10 cancelling out. We have 2 zeros cancelling out. If you just simply simplify it or you just put in the calculator, you are going to get minus 1 by 7 only, which is equal to minus 0.1429. Okay? Clear? Nothing new? This is what you have been doing in the basics class, right? Now if I go through average method, they also ask me average method, right? So average method was change in quantity upon Q1 plus Q2 by 2 into P1 plus P2 by 2, and this is divided by change in price. So my change in quantity was minus 1250. I simply do 875000 and we have here 873750 divided by 2 into 500 plus 505 by 2, and this is divided by 5 rupees change. Clear? Now just simply solve this. So basically I will get 1250 by 2 and this is calculation which you need to do, guys. Okay. Now you can put in the calculators and you can simply calculate it. So what is the value coming out? Quickly give me the value. Minus 0.1437, correct. Is it clear? We'll keep our class for here only. Tomorrow we'll discuss different types of price elasticities. Then we'll also discuss the relationship of TE and TR, basically total expenditure and total revenue with respect to my price elasticities. Then I'll talk about market flooring and market ceiling. So we would require 1 to 2 more classes to discuss this. Okay. Please be consistent with your classes, otherwise if you miss a single concept, then you may struggle in this chapter, okay, because the topics are very much related. Clear? Any doubt till now, guys? Any doubt? Tell me. Okay, if there is no doubt, let's wrap up this class for today. Have a nice day, guys.